I'll let you know. All right, here we are. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the latest edition of the 2021 NFL Mock Draft. My name is Junior. People usually call me Juan, JR. Doesn't matter. I'm all for it. And this lovely gentleman right here used to be my old sergeant from our Army days back in the day. And now he is still working on posts, but he is the guy that gives everybody a hard time to clear the base. So luckily for me, I did not have to deal with it. I got out of the base pretty safely. So, Bill, how you doing, man? How's it been going?
It's another day in paradise, young man.
That's good. That's good. And if people at home haven't noticed, today we're going to be talking about the dog pound, the Cleveland Browns. Sort of a holy crap. Holy crap, where did this team come from?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was one of those weird things where, because let's face it, with our teams, we never really expect success. We can only hope to be competitive. So it's when we have this type of season, it's like, where did this team come from? What the hell? It kind of put the NFL world on notice a little bit. Like, hey, I think the Browns are for real, man.
I told you all the time back in the day, it came down to coaching, and we finally got a decent one.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's showing. It's showing hugely. But before we get into the season, let's talk about your 2020 draft class. Which, by the way, I thought it was great. I thought it was great. 10th pick, Jedrick Willis, bam. You didn't have to suffer the departure of Joe Thomas for long. There you go. There you go. It was like, all right, Joe Thomas retired, 1 year of bad left tackle play. Here's Jedrick Willis. Okay, we're done. We can, yeah.
That's sad.
Did he have his rookie moments? Who doesn't? But from what I saw, this kid's going to be a stud. This kid is going to be a stud. And now with Willis and Conklin as your bookend tackles, you're good. You good.
Maybe.
I'll put it to you this way. In majority in NFL teams, it's hard to get two tackles. To get at least two solid ones, at least you can feel pretty confident heading into the season next year, at least.
If
everything stays even keel, basically.
If Conklin can stay healthy, then I'll be happy.
Yeah. Now the second one, I am kind of not disappointed, not because of his play, but because he got kind of hurt early in the season. Grant Delpit, the safety out of LSU. I was kind of excited to see how that was going to work in Cleveland, and it's just unfortunate. It's a tough game. Injuries happen, and we can only hope that he comes back strong, that he comes back and it doesn't hinder his progress as a pro.
That one kind of stung a little bit because I was expecting more out of him.
Yeah, it's just like I said, injuries happen, but we can only hope that he comes back strong, So let's see here. Jordan Elliott, the defensive tackle in Missouri. Now, he is a sweet rotational piece. He is when it comes to those nickel and dime packages, he is a sweet rotational piece. I'll say that.
Yes, he is.
That was actually pretty good. That was actually a pretty good pickup. I was like, man, I wonder how he'll fit in Cleveland. Well, rotational guy. And, I think that's where a lot of fan bases, they kind of don't get the big picture. Every fan base wants the home run pick every single time they select. It's just not going to happen that way. If you could just get a player to contribute to your team, then you picked it right.
And that's the thing with coaching fantasy, rotates.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Leave 4 to 5 in there to tire out. He rotates.
Oh, yeah. It's not the Hugh Jackson Browns anymore, I'll tell you that. Sticking with the third round, Jacob Phillips, linebacker out of LSU. Not a bad special teams ace. He's there. He'll be there. Could he work on his game? Oh, yeah. There's a lot of, hidden potential at least. It's just, for right now, I guess special teams will do it.
I like him on special teams because he's quick.
Yeah. You just kind of hope that eventually it can push him to maybe compete for starter. It's just, it's kind of there, you kind of want to see that little push. It's just, No, I thought this was a steal in the fourth round. Harrison Bryant, the tight end from Florida. Now, obviously, third tight end in the depth chart, but I believe, down the road, he can be somebody. I really like his game. I really do. Now, how he translated to that offense, that's going to be a thing. But I think with a couple more seasons, I think he could translate it to somebody.
I think you're going to see him as the number 2 this year.
Yeah, he's got the potential. I will say that. He's got it. It's just again, that little push, man, and you're good.
I think he's going to be number 2 behind Hooper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, because Hooper's number 1, obviously. I mean, that's not a. Yeah. I mean, not anytime soon, at least. But if he can compete for that number 2 in just his second year, then you got something going,
Yep.
And then Nick Harris, the center out of Washington. Obviously, you know how it is. J.C. Treader was there. It's just, hey, look, man, play when you can.
You're not pulling Treader out dead time.
No. Like, hey, man, when your number's called, do what you can. Do what you got to do. And then last pick, Donovan Peoples-Jones, the wide receiver out of Michigan.
I do like
him. He is actually a Cleveland favorite, actually, especially after that game winner in Week 7. That was a sweet catch. I gotta say, that was a sweet catch. I mean, what are you gonna do?
I like it.
Yeah, there's something about him where it's like there's a lot of high hopes that he can kind of be he could be that guy. It's just because when you look at him, it's like, man, he looks like an NFL wide receiver. It's like,
oh yeah.
It's just, what is it? Why isn't he getting the looks that he probably should be getting? And hopefully year 2, he kind of umps it up just a little bit. Just a bit.
I wouldn't mind seeing him in a number 3, maybe a 4.
Just to kind of be that little option just in case. Because, I mean, he's got the potential. He's got the skill set. So, I mean, I like him a lot. So
I'd like to see him more in a rotational, rotate out there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's just for right now, it's like just seeing from what he can do, just to contribute, that had to feel good, especially for a 6th rounder. Oh, yeah. So overall, I mean, I loved the Browns draft class. I thought, obviously hindsight is 2020, but man, the Browns did their due diligence. They did their due diligence by picking up the best player available at that point in every single round. And that's how you build, man. That's how you build. I mean,
that's the beauty of the team this year. They don't have specific need. They can take the best player available this year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, season started 2020.
Yep.
We didn't really know how it was going to go, and it went pretty well for you guys, at least I would think. 11-5, third in the AFC. Well, in your division, you guys went third in the AFC North, so that was pretty good. I mean, it was a very well-balanced team with Baker, Kareem Hunt, and the other running back that I keep forgetting, which I probably shouldn't because that dude is a bad motherfucker. Dude is a
Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb, yeah, that dude is a bad motherfucker. That dude, man, that dude is. And then obviously, the defense kind of, had its ups and downs, but I mean, it's there. It's there. It's just it needs to be just a little bit more consistent, I would say, at least. Just,
the Browns gave the Chiefs everything they could take in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
They were that.
They were a Chad Henne quarterback sneak away from putting the Chiefs away. Look, who saw that coming? Nobody. You can't be mad. Who saw Chad Henne doing a quarterback sneak? Come on, man. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, man? It sucks. I mean, it sucks. Look, you probably should have expected it, but it's like, nah, that ain't going to happen. Nah. It ain't going to happen. It fucking happens. It fucking happens, man.
They gave them everything they could handle.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and look, 11-5, 14th in offense, 21st in defense. You guys had a hell of a season. You guys, in the wild card at least, manhandled the Steelers. I don't care if it's just 48-37. If you're just looking at the score, you did not watch the game. The Browns destroyed the Pittsburgh Steelers in that one. From the first snap to the end of the whistle, Done.
Oh,
It was all done.
that first half was absolute magic.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Well, I'm sure. I was sitting on the couch, like thinking about, all right, what are we gonna do for next week's show? And I'm like, what am I watching? Is this for real? Like, is my TV broken? Like, what's going on here, man? Like, I don't understand.
They came out and they were not happy people when they met the Steelers, and it showed.
Yeah, and then
They played.
overall, I think the only thing I would say, kind of like a negative, which I'm kind of like, I don't know whether I should be surprised or whether it's kind of like disappointing. I thought Odell was going to do more damage in Cleveland than he would ever done for the Giants, just because of the quarterback situation. But I, I don't know if it's scheme. I don't know if it's him personally, if he's not buying into it. I don't know. I it's just like I see Jarvis do his thing. I see Nick Chubb do his thing. I see Kareem Hunt do his thing. Hell, Donovan People-Jones. I see him do his thing. Austin Hooper, and I'm just like, yo, Odell, like you should be like killing it.
Here's my key on that. What I was going to get to earlier. I don't have a problem with Odell. My problem is with Baker Mayfield's arm.
You think it's much more of the arm strength isn't there, or do you think it's just not? Is it force feeding at this point? Because there's a couple games where it's like, hey man, I know you want to kind of get him the ball, but you don't have to force it to him every time.
Odell has the speed. You can say, go get it. Baker doesn't have that arm. He doesn't have the Josh Allen arm.
No, that arm is amazing. That Josh Allen arm cannon is like, whoa.
But one, it's he can't get deep because he can't throw deep. He just, it's not there. And Odell is taking a beating over the middle for so long. How many hits does he really want to take now?
At this point, it'll be more business decisions than actual football plays at this point. It's just for me, it's just I find it funny. It like Baker, you know how many people would kill for a wide receiver like Odell on their team? You know how many people would kill for a wide receiver like a DeAndre, a Devontae Adams, all those guys. It's like,
to be honest,
you got to find a way to get him the ball. Like, you just got to find a way.
To be honest, most of Cleveland loves Landry more than Odell.
Yeah, I mean, look, Landry's a good player too. He a bad dude too. I mean, that dude, you put him up anywhere. 1, 2, 3. That dude can do it all. The dude can do it all.
If Odell can come back healthy, great. If not, but Mayfield is the undisputed leader of that team. So you build to his strengths. If you have one or two cogs that aren't in that strength, they got to go.
It's just, I think Baker is the perfect quarterback for Cleveland because he just matches the Cleveland attitude. It's like blue collar.
Yep.
I'm going to do this my way. I don't care if you believe in me or not, but we're going to just shut you up anyway.
Don't get me wrong. I love Baker. I love his attitude. I believe in him wholeheartedly. I just wish he had some more on the arm. Some more oomph.
Yeah. What it is, it's more he'll get it to him. Accuracy is not going to be the issue. He'll get it to him. That's not going to be the problem. The problem is it going to be able to, hey, man, if it comes to 40 yards out, up and out, is it going to get there?
Right.
50 yards up and out, is it going to get there? Now, if it comes to 60 and above, it's like, look, we know it ain't going to get there.
Nope.
So you gotta work in between those first 10 yards of that hash mark, and then you got to pray that he hits you on the dime.
Oh, he'll hit you on a dime, but he ain't going to hit you at 40 yards on a dime.
Yeah, so it's like you better pray that it's just there if you're running that route. But overall, look, 11-5. What is your expectations for this team next year? Like, what would it be? Like, what do you think it's going to take?
My expectations right now, pending the draft and pending
A couple late free agent pickups.
there's a couple of deals that I'm looking for, a couple of deals that insiders in the organization are looking at, draft day trades or whatever. If they do one or two, I will sit here and say
At 26,
yeah, don't worry about that draft pick. Don't worry about that one. I'm concerned about the third round.
the third rounders. I mean,
I'm looking at draft day trade of our third rounder and David Njoku going off. There's talk within that I've heard about in the organization of sending those two to New England.
Ooh, three tight end set in New England, huh?
You know how Bill likes the tight ends.
Yeah, no, that's Bill's bread and butter, man.
That third round pick in Njoku for, if a healthy Gilmore, Stephon Gilmore, or Jackson.
Oh, either way, that'd be good.
If they pull off that trade and lock down those corners, and you have Greedy underneath healthy, you got Johnson, you got Williams, they lock down that secondary, I'll say Super Bowl right now.
Oof. Super Bowl in Cleveland. Here we go. Now this is what I came here for, because
their free agent rocked.
Yeah, I mean, and speaking of, there was a couple free agents that you guys kind of did lose, and that was kind of, I wouldn't say it was a bad thing, but it was sort of like you did lose a couple starters, but you did gain a couple starters. Obviously Kevin Johnson, he's gone. Terrence Mitchell, he's gone.
Yep.
We got Kendall Lamb, he's heading up to Tennessee. Yep. Vincent Taylor, he's going to Houston, which is, I mean, really okay. Like I said, now it just gives Jordan Elliott a little bit more playing time.
So let me ask you a question. You mentioned Kendall Lamb, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Who's he?
He was the backup for Conklin. And, he was a swing tackle. He's a good veteran player. Let's put it that way. Good veteran player.
He was. I know who he is, but who?
And I understand it's the who thing, but it's like you gotta have at least some depth, because you can never have too much offensive linemen, in my opinion, and you can never have too many defensive linemen, because it's all about the battle of the trenches. It's all about the battle of the trenches. If you control that, you control the game. You can do whatever you want at that point.
Yes, sir.
And then obviously Tay Davis, back up. He's heading to Houston, and then Carl Joseph did the switch. He's heading back to the Raiders. So I don't know what the hell's up in that guy's mind. That dude is. Maybe next year he'll head back to Cleveland. I don't know. Maybe.
I'm pretty sure physically he's about done.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. I like the guy. I liked him. I liked his play. He was very physical, but I think he's physically about done.
He kind of reminds me of a Bob Sanders, where he was all physical, and then it was just one too many hits, and then that was it. That was kind of it. And Bob Sanders was a bad dude. It's just, look, man, yeah, you're a safety, but one too many hits like that's kind of the end. Like, hey, look, man, like there's reasons why, Troy, Ed Reed, safeties like those, they lasted a long time, because they knew how to give out the hit, but they also knew how to go for the ball as well. It seems like when it was Bob Sanders and Carl Joseph, it's like, hey, man, I fuck the ball. I just want to go for the hit. Like, no, man, that's
Troy is just a physical specimen. So he's a freak of nature.
He was on a class of his own, basically.
Yeah. Yes.
Troy was man, how long has it been now? Shit, it's been a minute since I've heard that name. I'm kind of glad that name's gone, because oh my God, that dude was that dude was, I mean, and you had to see him twice a year. So I mean, that was some shit. Yeah, Troy was a great player. That was a lot of fun to watch. Like, you couldn't be like, hey, look, man, Troy made a great play. What do you want me to do? Get mad?
You
All
can't.
right. What do you want to do? Get pissed that he made that fucking diving interception with 3 feet off the ground? What do you want me to do, man? Like what? It's fucking Troy. What do you want me to do? Like,
You can't hate the man.
no. But like you said, free agency on the receiving end, that one was good. I thought you guys killed it there, free agency wise. Obviously, John Johnson from the Rams, the safety from the Rams. That was like, whoa. Yep. That was the pickup. That was like, damn.
We got him.
Damn.
And Williams from the Rams.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, Troy Hill. Yep. You know, you got John Johnson, Troy Hill, Clowney. He's coming there. So now that's going to be interesting. You know, that the Clowney pick was kind of like we'll see.
The Clowney pick, that to me is key. There's a highlight play from the Titans at the Broncos, and he's all over the field, chasing the quarterback down. The quarterback gets the ball off, but it's a rush throw, incomplete.
Yeah.
What they don't say about the highlight is everything he's doing and his motor. That was in overtime. That wasn't the beginning of the game.
Oh, no. The guy can last. The guy didn't go number 1 overall because, you know, he can only do 3 plays an hour. The dude has a motor.
The hurries, the blocked passes, the batted balls. And if you got your choice, you're going to double Garrett or you're going to double him.
Good luck. Good luck. Like, good luck, man. Like, do your thing. No, and that's the thing. I think a lot of fans like understand that. You know, it's much more than sacks. It's much more than forced fumbles. Look, did he get back there? Did he beat the man in front of him? Did he get there and was the ball incomplete? And you know what? That's a win in my book. That's a win.
Reason for the interception or the incomplete pass?
I mean, that's it. I mean, I think what it is just the casual fan. They just see the numbers. They're not seeing the big picture. It's like, look, man, did he beat his man up front? Did he force the quarterback to do a hurry throw and not get his feet set to make a good throw?
Right.
And that's a win in my book. That's a win. Look, because now instead of 2 and 3, it's 2nd and 10 still. Perfect. All right, perfect. Because you always want to be behind the sticks on the defense. So, I mean, you're good. You're good.
And he's one of the most solid edge rushers against the run.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's a run stuffer. Oh, yeah. It's just I kind of like Clowney now because, especially now with the other one as well with Terrace McKinley.
Yeah.
You know, that's going to be a great, hey, man. All right, here's another one. He's another speed guy.
Yep.
But he's all pass rush specialist. Like, that's all it is, you know. But that's like, hey, man, nickel dime. All right, get in there. Let's go. Let's go. And then Malik Jackson, that's a great, you know, that was a great pickup. That's how you plug up the hole in the middle right there. That's how you get yeah, exactly. That's how you get the middle guy.
Now, speaking of the free agency, we did lose Sheldon Richardson.
That was tough. That was tough. Yeah.
If they can bring him back, they want him back. Him and Malik in the middle. Oh.
That front four would be deadly. If Sheldon were to come back.
They're trying to get him to come back, but it's a money thing. It's cap space.
And especially with the cap going down, we kind of knew like there was going to be players. I mean, Richie Incognito was the same thing. Hey, man, we're paying you too much, but we would love you back just at a cheaper deal.
That's it.
Just due to the cap space. And he came back. And that's all it really is. It's just cap space for everybody. It's hell right now. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter what team you are. There's no such thing as I have the most cap space of this year. Yeah, but the thing is, everybody's so fucking down. Like, do you really have that much cap space? Not really.
No, and they can bring him back and put it in incentives. They can get it under the cap, but they also have to save up for, or not save up, but they have to save for the draft.
There's always about 10 to 12 that you have to save.
Yep.
In order to get your rookies in, basically. So that's what I always like hearing from people. It's like, man, you know, my team has 100 million. No, your team's only got 88 million.
Yeah.
No, but it says But it says 100 right here. No. You're not accounting for your draft class this year.
That's
You only got 88 million tops. So
you're not accounting for if you're, ooh, I'm in the top 4 and I'm going to grab quarterback. Well, there goes 20.
Yep, there it is. So it's like, uh-oh. So I think not a lot of people understand that until it's like, look, no. On paper, yeah, you have 100 million, but really, you only got about 88, and then the 12. It's kind of like, hey, you got to stash that. Like that's a stash at this point.
Yep.
And then now this is actually one of my favorites, the Anthony Walker one, the linebacker out of Indianapolis. Now, obviously, not a Darius Leonard, but not a bad piece either. Not a bad piece at all to command your middle.
If he is coming in and they're going to put him in the middle, I like the field general. I like the commanding. That back line is yours, and I like that.
So I mean, whatever you guys lost, it didn't feel like it hurt as much, only due to the fact of you guys brought in some really good names.
Oh yeah,
like this is the first time where it's like people actually want to go to Cleveland.
Yep.
Do they know it's terrible in December? Do they know this?
They have no idea what they're in for.
I guess it's like, oh well, I mean, they look like they got a good squad. I guess you can deal with a little bit of cold in December. So overall, I thought you guys did great. I thought free agency for us was slam dunk. I thought it was. Yeah, it was exactly where we know our weaknesses. We know what we lost. Let's just try to recuperate whatever we can at this point.
Like I said, we're done. I think draft day, we're going to nail one of those corners out of New England.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So it's everybody's favorite time of the year. It's draft. And actually, it is actually going to be in Cleveland this year.
Yes.
They're actually going to host it in Cleveland. Now, my thing is, where are they going to put the stage at? Is it going to be right next to that famous theater, or where's it going to be?
It's down on the left.
Okay. I like it. I mean, I hope it goes a lot better than when they tried to do it in Vegas last year. And I don't know, man. It sounds kind of funky. Like when you read the plans, when they were thinking about having the draft in Vegas, having it near the Bellagio and all that stuff, and people coming in canoes, and I was just like,
no.
I was like, hey man, can't we just do it like in Caesars? You know,
the change guard happened when they came down here to Nashville.
Yeah,
and that's when everybody else was like, oh, I want the draft now.
Yeah. I remember for the longest, it was always in New York, Radio City. And then I guess schedule conflict. Nashville says, hey, we'll take care of it. And now, don't get me wrong. Nashville's a great party city. Now, if you're going to hold a draft, yeah, Nashville's the place to do it.
Rocked it. There was
the Chicago one. I remember the Chicago one.
Yes.
That one was actually kind of cool because of the whole setup of the theater. Mm-hmm. They had their prospects there, theater-wise. I thought that was pretty cool. And then I guess, other cities try to do it. And then now I'm kind of like, well, where the heck are they going to put it in Cleveland? I'm thinking, well, they can only put it in some areas because Cleveland, not a lot of people do know this, it's sort of a compact area. It's sort of a...
Here's the thing about Cleveland people don't realize is the entire lakefront of the state is Cleveland.
Yeah, like not a like I tell people that and they're like, well, how do you know? Like, well, because I visited a couple times and like, you see that opening in that lake? Yeah. Welcome to Cleveland.
That's
what?
It.
That's it. Like that's it.
That's their lake. We claim.
Like, you see that city right there? Ta-da!
Yeah, from what I've seen of where they're building it, it's down there between the stadiums and one of the open lots down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad.
An open lot in Cleveland. Let's think about that.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Where?
Well, okay, if you want to, but no, I think Cleveland was a good choice. I think Cleveland's going to be a fun little. It's going to be interesting. I think a lot of people are finally going to understand. Like, hey, look, man, this is why Cleveland sports fans are so passionate. It's like, look, have they had the best history? No, but are they passionate? Yeah, they are.
Yeah, you have. I mean, Cleveland and Pittsburgh too are the ultimate blue collar.
Cities.
That's it. They're both steel cities. They're both. Same thing with Detroit.
Yeah.
But the fans in Pittsburgh and Cleveland are just. Same thing with Kansas City. There's no glitz. There's no glamour. It's work.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just
That's what we're drafted.
and I think, like I said, I think Cleveland was a good choice. I thought, like, you know what? If someone's going to get a draft, put it in Cleveland so finally people can finally understand what I've been talking about.
Yep.
They deserve this. They deserve this much. It's like, look, will they ever host a Super Bowl in January or February? God, no. God, no. All right. They learned their lesson up in New York when they did it in MetLife. Will they ever do it in Cleveland? God, no. But do I think it's a great city to host a draft during springtime? Absolutely. It is perfect.
Super Bowl in Cleveland, hometown advantage.
Yeah. In February? Yeah. Yeah. No kidding. It's like, oh man, we are not ready for this. But like I said, it's everybody's favorite time of year. You've seen the picks. I mean, you followed every single one of them.
Yep.
You've given me a crap for a couple of them, but that's okay. I'm always here. I'm always here for different opinions, But all right, Bill. Roger Goodell's at the podium. He comes back with the Cleveland Browns card. What name is he calling?
That's a tough one. But there's 4 or 5. I'm going to go with the first pick. I'm going to go with Rousseau.
Gregory Rousseau. Okay, now this is interesting. This is sort of a interesting one because he's been slipping a lot.
Yeah.
And there's talks about him like, hey, he might have costed himself out of the first rounder, but he'll still be a nice day 2 addition to somebody.
Well, the thing, I don't think he's going to be drafted to be an edge. I think they're going to put him as a linebacker. He's fast.
Oh, yeah. No, as a Miami fan, I can tell you, he is fast. He is very fast.
You put him as a right, I think he would thrive. And I think his career would last longer too.
I think that's actually pretty interesting. Like, it's kind of like we talked about, remember, he didn't play last year. He did opt out because he did at the time, when they were doing these early draft predictions. I mean, they were sounding like, hey, top 10, 15 at the most. But because of everybody else that did play defensive end wise,
right,
and everything else, it was kind of like, hey, look, man, everybody else played and everybody had a great pro day. Not to say that he did not have a great pro day. He had a fantastic pro day.
Yes, he did.
But it's like, hey, man, you didn't play. And the only thing we can go off is the film that you did the year before, which is amazing film. If people haven't seen it, go watch it. It is amazing film. What he did in 2019. It was great. But I think that's one of the things where I'm kind of like, man, do you take a risk on a guy who didn't play? I say you do if the talent is there.
If the talent is there, I mean, I could have gone with what's his name, Quiddy Paye.
I think he's going to go earlier than that, though.
It's possible, but that's the generic pick for the first round.
Yeah.
I say Rousseau.
Yeah, Gregory Rousseau is actually a pretty nice pickup. That's actually pretty good.
If they trade out of the first round to acquire more picks, I think it's going to be Rousseau.
Okay. I actually went a little bit of a different route.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually did. I don't think defensive end linebackers, I think you guys are pretty much solid at this point. Look, you got Garrett, you got Clowney, you got Malik Jackson. You could, like I said, you could always bring back Sheldon Richardson. But you know what you got in Jordan Phillips now. Maybe he could take a couple more snaps. So I wasn't really looking at defensive end. And then now with Anthony Walker coming in, Mac Wilson's going to move, and McKinley can play end linebacker like a Gregory Rousseau. He can do either or. So I'm thinking, well, maybe he's a tweener at this point of his career. I actually kind of went secondary for you guys. I actually went Tyson Campbell, the corner out of Georgia. I just think, hey, look, man, he's not going to play right away.
No.
All right. He's not going to play right away. However, he doesn't have to. Because with the corners that you already have, with Denzel Ward, signing Troy Hill, Greedy's back there, You get Tyson Campbell there. Hey, look, man, a year from 2 from now, he could be a starter, maybe. But I just think right now it's like, look, man, I like his game. Every year he's from freshman to now, the improvement has shown that he can play. His posture's getting better. He's not as grabby as he was as a freshman. And everything he does is just better. I just think Gregory Rousseau would be good in Cleveland. It's just I'm thinking, well, do they? I know you can never have too many defensive linemen.
You never have
but you can never have too many corners in this passing league day of age too. Though how the way the game's going, you can never have too many defensive backs out there at the same time.
I like that pick, and I hadn't really thought about corner because we're all kind of expecting that trade maybe for Jackson or Gilmer. So I really wasn't thinking secondary with that first pick, but I like it.
Yeah, it's just we can only assume when it comes to trade talks. Like that's all it is, really. I mean, it's just assumptions at this point. You know, there was an article I read a few days ago where it's like the Raiders might even trade down. I'm like, why?
That's
like why? Why would you trade down? Like you need BPA at that point. Like, no, you got whatever defensive player is there. You got to pick his ass up because we need help on defense. Damn it! Like, why would you trade?
That goes back to what I said earlier. The Browns right now have the luxury of picking the best player available. They don't have to pick secondary. They don't have to pick. You know what? If the best player on the board right now is a 6'6" receiver, go get him.
Might as well. I mean, you might as well.
Luxury. We don't have to pick for position now. You know, this first time in 50 years for the Browns.
Yeah, it seems like it's been a minute, like since the Browns had some type of success. Yeah,
beautiful spot.
You know, it's just I don't know. The Browns are kind of interesting because, yeah, they did lose some starters on free agency, but it's not like they fell hard. It's not like they
stumbled.
It's like, hey, look, man, they did a little trip, but it's okay. We got some players back. It's going to be fine. Who knows? Maybe with these players, it might even elevate the defense a little bit. Who knows? Who knows? Because you never know. It's just, I don't know. It's just so weird with the Browns right now because it's like, well, first, I never seen the Browns pick this high in my whole fucking life. So I'm like, what do I do here? Like, I mean, because usually with the Browns, it's usually quarterback, and I'm just like, all right. You know what the Browns are going to do.
I was with the Mayfield pick. Now, granted, Mayfield was a pick. That draft, I thought the Browns completely screwed it up because they could have taken Saquon and then taken Josh Allen because they had the first and the fourth. Allen at number 4 still. That's how I thought they would have gone, and then they went with Baker. Obviously, as of now, that was the right choice.
Oh yeah, hindsight's 20/20 now. You know, I mean, because I think everybody and their mother had Saquon number 1. I don't think there was like a debate that Saquon was going to go 1. Like he was not going to go. It was like, hey, look, man, it's Saquon Barkley. I mean,
but we got Chubb and Hunt. I'm a happy kind of guy.
Yeah, you're good to go. Yeah, you're good to go. Like right. I'm on the same boat as you. I got fucking Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake. I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm good.
I like Jacobs. I like Jacobs.
He was something. He was something coming out of Alabama. I'm like, man, this kid is actually pretty fucking good.
He's got a perfect ball.
Yeah, no, I'm glad he's with us. I'll put it to you that way. I'm glad for the first time in a long time we actually have a true running back there. And it's actually, in a sense, it's actually helped Carr tremendously, where all the pressure is finally not on him. It's like, hey, look, man, you got Jacobs. Just give him the ball. Just give it to him.
Here you go.
Yeah, I mean, and not a lot of people know that. It's like, hey, look, man, if you got a badass running back, it elevates the quarterback's pressure off a lot.
I'll give you guys credit. I love Carr. I love Carr. If there was that we would have gotten him, I would have done it in a heartbeat. He plays hurt. He plays hurt. He's got a damn good arm.
He's got guts. He's got guts.
If there's a quarterback that's going to take you guys to the promised land, it's right there.
Now, the only problem is if we can have a defense to match the offense, then hey.
But
yeah, exactly. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? I mean, it's just one of those things. It's like, it's a mixed feelings here in Nevada. And when you talk to Raider fans, some people love them, some people hate them. And, it's just, it's so weird. It's so weird.
You all did it to yourselves when you let go of Mac.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the trade value was too good. I mean, it's like I told Josh. It's like, look, man, you get Mac, but we got Josh Jacobs out of it. So I guess in the end, really, it's okay. It's just, and they're kind of in a different position. It's like, man, I wish we had a Jacobs. And I'm like, yeah, I wish we had a Mac too. But hey, we got to move on. We got to go.
Yeah, there you go.
But I think Gregory Rousseau in Cleveland. And the thing is, same thing with Tyson Campbell. Gregory Rousseau does not even have to play right away.
No,
he can just kind of chill for a bit, get his feet back, because remember, he has been out of football for a year, and being in football shape and being in regular shape, two totally different contrasts. It's a two totally different animal world.
That's why I say you draft him as a defensive end and you put a right outside linebacker number on him. You learn that position.
Like, look, and I don't care who has to teach you. I don't care if Mac Wilson has to teach you. I don't care if McKinley has to teach you. I don't care if, Anthony has to teach you.
And I like Wilson. I do. All that man does is catch balls. He intercepts the ball. I like Wilson, but I like Rousseau.
Yeah, no, Rousseau is they don't build athletes like that on trees anymore. It's like,
looks like
it's hard.
He looks like a smaller Clowney.
Yeah, it's weird when you look at him, because it's like, look, man, I know he's not the biggest guy in the room, and he never is going to be the biggest guy in the room. However, can he play football? Yeah, he can play.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he can play. Yeah, you just tell him what you need him to do, and he's right there. He is right there with you.
He reminds me of a faster Brian Urlacher.
Yeah, he's way faster than Urlacher. Way.
As that quality of keep going.
Oh, he's not one to shy away from contact, and that goes credit to his 15 sacks from the last year he did play. So contact is not an issue. It's just, like I said, he's been out for a year, and it was understandable. His stock was not going to go any higher at that point. It's just unfortunate for him that every defensive end in front of him did play this year, and they all seem to have good years, from Kwity Paye to Jalen Phillips. It's just every defensive end, to Jason Onoa from Penn State. He even had a good, solid year this year. So it was just like, hey, look, man, it's not that you opted out. It's just everybody else had a good year. So that's why your stock is kind of like dipping a bit. Not to say that he's not going to get out of the first round, but if he does, somebody's going to get a nice fucking football player day fucking two. Day fucking two, somebody's going to get a good fucking football player right there. But, I mean, defensive end, linebacker, you can put him anywhere. I mean, he's just an athletic freak, and he will – if Cleveland drafts him, then it's like, well, you fix your problem now, which was defense. It was a roller coaster. You needed to be consistent. If you plug him in, he could be that key piece to where it's, hey, that offense can still kill it with the running game and a couple passes here. The defense shapes up. Who knows how far because they were one stop away from beating the Chiefs. I mean, they were just one quarterback sneak away from beating the Chiefs, because they gave Mahomes everything they could.
Yep.
I mean, they gave him everything. I mean, they beat him up. They beat him up pretty bad that game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if they were going to go down, they were going to make sure that they at least left some type of impact of, hey, we're not going down without a fight.
I'm pretty sure some KC players came away with PTSD after that one.
I'm pretty sure. Like, oh my God. Like,
So,
because they were, like I said, they were just one rollout quarterback, Chad Henne, away from going to the AFC Championship game to play the Bills. Now, that would have been interesting. The Bills and Browns, two old school teams who had dominance in the 90s, revitalized in the 2020s.
and that would have been a soap opera there.
Oh, yeah, that would have been like, oh, everybody's being, fuck Tampa Bay versus, yeah, fuck that. We already know how that story is going to go out. Because Green Bay was going to have no answers halfway through the game.
No.
I mean, I've seen that story before. Like, I've seen it before. Even at 100%, Green Bay was not going to beat Tampa Bay.
No.
There's just no way. Because, yeah, pass rushing wise, Green Bay's got it. But what's the one thing that Green Bay has not been able to do this last couple of years? Stop the run.
Stop the run and get anything Adams out there.
It's like, look, man. I mean, Green Bay, it was a simple thing. All you got to do is just get a number 2 for Aaron Rodgers. That's it. All you got to do, just get one wide receiver. Just one.
Nope.
It's the same. It's the same thing I tell my buddy who's a Broncos fan. John Elway has only had one job since he became the general manager of the Denver Broncos. Sign Peyton Manning, find a good replacement. One job. And you can't even, like, of all people, John Elway, you can't tell me what a good quarterback looks like? Come on, man. Like, come on, man. You got to be kidding me.
I love me some John, but football mind, he may have taken one too many shots to the head.
Well, I mean, he always did say if it wasn't for Terrell Davis, they wouldn't have never won those 2 Super Bowls. I mean, that's a credit to Terrell, because I agree. Without Terrell Davis, I don't know where the Broncos would have been at the late 90s at that point.
Yeah, because the Super Bowl, they shut down Terrell Davis and made John beat him.
Yeah. Mean, it's just...
And it was Atlanta, so who cares?
Yeah, I mean, Atlanta. It just seems like they just... That's another team for another day.
John Elway.
I mean, what are you going to do, man? What are you going to do?
So
it should have been the Vikings. It should have been the Vikings that Super Bowl. It's just...
I'll tell you what I would do. The second round this year, I would go after a defensive tackle if we don't bring Sheldon back.
And you know what? Being that it's such a bad defensive tackle class, you might even end up with the best one in round 2, because...
I'm looking at Nixon.
Oh, the kid from Iowa. Oh, that kid is... Yeah, no, that kid is... He's something. He's really something.
I'm looking at that for the second round. There's no guarantee Richardson comes back.
There's another defensive tackle I do like, and it's the kid from Washington. I forget. I don't know how you say his name, like Uzi Wasa, something weird like that.
Yeah, that one that I'm not
even going to attempt his last name, because it's like
Uzi.
What? But he's got some game too. But no, I like the Nixon kid from Iowa. That kid, that first step is explosive, pushing straight up the middle. Like, that shit is like, whoa. Like, hey, man, you got some, like, jetpacks in the back of your cleats right there? What's up, man? Like, I've never seen another grown man push another grown man like that fast. I'm like, whoa.
Not since Ndamukong Suh was a rookie.
Yeah, that was a long, and even then, that's kind of like, damn, Nixon's doing shit that.
Yeah, Nixon is fast.
Yeah, Nixon's a bad dude. But no, I mean, like I said, Gregory Rousseau, Tyson Campbell, I don't think the Browns can really go bad at pick 26 at this point.
Yeah.
Even if they were to trade back a few spots, it's like, hey, look, man, the Browns are just in a good spot where all they need to do is just the same way they got it with the Jedrick Willis pick.
Yep.
They just got to hit it here, and everything's going to be A-okay.
Like I said, it's one or two key pieces and a few role players away, and it's there.
Because it's like, my expectation for the Browns next year is like, look, man, I'm going to go as far as to say division title.
Oh, yeah.
I think division title is not too crazy to think now, especially with all the blows that Pittsburgh had to deal with. Baltimore is going to have to deal with some growing pains right now. And
defense is caught up to Jackson. They figured him out.
They're getting there. And I expect this year to be
every running quarterback they figured out.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, look, defensive coordinators in the NFL, they're not stupid.
Nope.
I'll put it to you that way. They got a job for a reason, guys. It's because they know what to think. Yeah, they're going to get their asses kicked the first time. But once you see him after a while, it's like, all right, look, guys, this is what he likes to do. This is his strong points. Push him out of there and just get him to his weak side.
Yep.
Everything else will be taken care of from that point.
Yep.
And I mean, look, for me, it wouldn't be too crazy to say that Cleveland should at least try to compete for the division this year.
AFC North title, I see that as a very, very real possibility.
Because, well, we know Cincinnati's deal. I mean, Joe Burrow's great. The future looks bright with T. Higgins.
Yep.
Joe Mixon's still there. It's just, that defense has to go back to the way it was. And obviously, the Bengals have 8 draft picks. I suggest that the Bengals draft 8 linemen and just hope for the fucking best. Because, Jesus Christ, like Jesus.
Well, my original thought for this draft for the Browns, draft 8 linebackers.
And just, you only need 3. You only need 6. So hope for the best at this point,
Draft all positions, just all linebackers, because your secondary seems to be coming back in. Greedy's coming back. You got Hill. You got Johnson. You got Ward. They're going to be fine. So it's linebackers, because now you got Clowney. You got Jackson. And I forget Garrett.
Yeah, Myles Garrett. Yeah, the guy who almost ended Mason Rudolph's life. Almost. That one was – I've never seen anything like that. Like, for a game to end like that, I have never seen anything. I've seen Beergate when they threw beers at the refs and everything. I've seen that. But to see – I've seen Andre Johnson beat the fuck out of Cortland Finnegan.
Yep.
I've seen shit like that. But I've never seen the point where it's like, oh, I got his helmet.
And I'll be honest, I backed Garrett on it because watching the film, he got kicked in the sack twice.
There was hits. There was some unnecessary hits there.
So, and when you watch the film, I'm not condoning what he did. I'm not condoning it. I understand it because the kid kept coming, and then he gets hit. Oh, look at me! Woe is me now.
I think Mason should have taken the first sign as, hey, look, man, when your own offensive line is backing you off,
yeah,
just leave it there, man. Just leave it there. That's all you got to do. Just leave it there. Now, for him, because, look, I understand, like, hey, look, it was a screenplay. Maybe Garrett went a little too aggressive at that point. I mean, who knows? Maybe he really did think the ball was still in his hand. And, that's what a lineman does. That's what they think. Now, going down, obviously, yeah, the pulling of the helmet. Now, the kicking part of Mason Rudolph's part, like, hey, look, man, once accidental, I can understand that. Once I see you do a 2, 3, hey, look, man, you're just being a dick about it now. You're just being a jerk about it at this point. Like, that's not even man.
I don't condone what he did. I don't.
But I understand. I understand the
emotion.
I understand, like, hey, why he would think that, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, to me, it's in the past. Everybody kind of learned their way. Mason Rudolph left the AFC North, and now they know not to fuck with Myles Garrett. Got it. I think every quarterback in that division knows now, hey, look, man, if he puts his arm around you, just go down. Just fucking go down and just go.
They would rather deal with Clowney.
Yeah, at this point, and that's saying something. That's saying a lot. But no, I mean, like I said, the Browns are in a good spot. It's good to see a team that's, like, for the longest, it's always they've been having some bad luck, and it always seems what's that word I'm looking for? Snake bitten in a way. It just seems like and we all know the jokes with the jersey, name changing, the little shop in Cleveland with all the new names on the jersey. I get it. Colin the Coward coming out with that dumpster fire remake of We Didn't Start the Fire. And it's just like, hey, look, I get it. It sucks. But it's always good to see franchises like this that just come out of nowhere. They shock the world. And then they kind of give the NFL something to kind of like, ooh, new contender. We can make some money off this.
The key of that offense is controlling Baker Mayfield.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, you got Kareem Hunt, you got Nick Chubb, you're good. You're good. You don't got to do anything flashy. Nope. You don't have to be the best offense in the world. You don't have to be the greatest show on turf. You just have to do and score enough points to where the defense can hold off for at least 4 quarters, and that's it. That's it.
So I will tell you one thing, though. I am planning – I like your Campbell pick as corner. Maybe not first. Maybe not. I was because I was going with
yeah, it's hard. It was hard because I was actually going corner either way, and it was either between him or Newsome from Northwestern.
That would.
It's just, I like Newsome. It's just, in my opinion, I think he's not as physical at the line of scrimmage, and he could get a little bit more, pulling and tugging at the jersey than a Campbell. But either way, I mean, none of them were going to be getting starter time right away anyway. So obviously there was a chance to get him out of those habits. I just think right now, between the two, all you have to do for Tyson Campbell is just teach him the system and teach him the language. I think with Newsome is teaching him a little bit technique on how not to grab, but at least be effective.
See, because I know you got Ward, and I'm pretty sure Hill is the automatic.
I think for right now, it would have to be Hill and Ward, just for right now.
Now, like I said, if they make that blockbuster trade that we all hope for,
then I'm sure everybody in Cleveland would be gracing up in joys if a Stephon Gilmore or a Jackson came to Cleveland, because now you've got you're either going to get an All-Pro corner defensive player of the year and Denzel Ward. All right, great, you're good. Or you're going to get 2 great athletic young corners with Ward and Jackson. And again, great. That's all great and dandy. So if that trade were to go down, you can't go wrong with either or for Cleveland. You can't.
No, and while looking at pick 89, that's the Juiced out of Minnesota. I was looking at him. And pick 91, because we got 89 and 91. I was looking at
your picks are kind of very close, especially in the 3rd and 4th. They're right there. So you guys ain't going anywhere.
I like that safety out of Syracuse.
Andre Cisco. Yeah, that guy's something. I'll tell you that much. But again, he probably fell again just due to the fact opting out, didn't play 2020. I think had he played and he would have shown his skills, maybe mid-first. But because of that, it's shit.
I don't like safeties in the first. I don't.
I think, it's just everything is so weird. There's, depending on who you talk to, there's people out there that don't want to take linebackers in the first because that's like taking a running back in the first. It's so weird nowadays. But I was always under the impression, look, man, if the guy can play, I don't give a fuck if that's a kicker or a punter. You take that motherfucker. Come on, man.
My thing with safeties first is if you make them wait, you want a physical hitting safety. You make them wait. You get that Aaron Rodgers mentality. They're going to lay some hits. They're going to lay some number.
Yeah. And it's just – but then again, wouldn't that be every position?
I want more physicality out of my safeties.
Because, at this point, it's it's not the 80s anymore. Where if you take a quarterback with the first overall, they're not going to sit for 2 seasons and then all right, now let's play. If you're a quarterback and you get taken number 1, I'm sorry, dude, you're the starter. That's it. you're the guy. Like, there's no.
And I don't like rooting for another team. Watch out for Jacksonville.
They're building something. I don't know what it is, but they're doing something down in Jacksonville.
Urban Meyer's been a winner everywhere he's been.
Now, I am in that small category, though. I actually do believe that Trevor Lawrence is not the franchise dude for Jacksonville. I don't see it. I don't see it. I'm sorry. Like, I'm going to put it out there for everybody to hear right now. I don't think he would be worthy of number one any other year except this year because of all the other quarterbacks that are coming out this year. Last year, no way. The year before that, no way.
No,
the year before,
I watched the national championship, and Clemson's defense screwed Tua up. I'm not a fan because of that game. That one game, Tua is nothing to me. Trevor, as a freshman or sophomore, damn, he lit Alabama up.
You know what I feel like Trevor Lawrence was in Clemson? Remember San Francisco, not this season, but the past season? There's a lot of layers before you got to get to Jimmy Garoppolo. That's what I felt that Trevor Lawrence was. It's like, hey, look, man, if it ain't the defense, it's the offensive line. And if it ain't the offensive line, it's the wide receivers. And if it ain't the wide receivers, it's the running back. And if it ain't that, then it's Trevor Lawrence. I just feel like Trevor had that Jimmy Garoppolo effect. You're good, but there's a lot of layers at Clemson there. It's like, the last thing I'm worried about was Trevor.
Well, for me, I love Urban Meyer. I love what he did for Ohio State, Cleveland, Ohio State.
It goes 2-2.
He's won everywhere he's been. The Bosa brothers, come on, he coached both of them.
Yeah, he did.
And now he's going to get his hooks into Lawrence. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be another Josh Allen. 1-2 years, figure it out, and then lights out like last year.
I would say by his fourth year. That's where I would really judge him.
All right, so we're going to come back here in 3 years.
I say in 3 years, I will be looking at you and I will say Trevor Lawrence has to get this right for year 4, or he will be a backup like Mitchell Trubisky somewhere else.
I mean, we just went through Baker's 3rd year. So, no, but I got it. I think Urban Meyer is the right coach for him to start. But
yeah, if there's going to be a coach to hook on to the young kids, it's going to be Urban Meyer. Now, I don't know how he's going to do it with the vets because it's a little different. Like he's learning that, hey man, NCAA and the NFL,
2 totally different.
Yeah, you can't tell your top defensive player like, hey man, do you mind staying so we can? No, I got dinner with the wife and the kids after this, so I gotta go. I gotta go.
In that chair, down and shut up.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, but you get the idea. It's just you can't force somebody to stay now. Now it's like, hey, I got a family, man. I got parent teacher conference. I gotta go.
I do. Back on the draft. You're right, though. Our picks are really, really close.
Yeah, they are.
We got round 3, 89, 91. Round 4, 110. 91 to 110.
That's only 10, 12 picks, something like that. I mean,
and if Des Fitzpatrick is there from Louisville, oh please.
Yeah, he's going to get there in the 4th. He'll be there, but I'm pretty sure someone's going to pick him up before that time comes. I mean, he's just too good to be slipping that far.
Most likely, but I would love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, if he's there at the 4th, then, I mean, what do you got to lose at that point? Do you really – your franchise is not going to flop on a 4th rounder.
No.
So
best player available, not position.
Just BPA, man.
Yep.
And pretty much what you guys did last year, man, BPA. And it worked out. So I kind of see the same blueprint for Cleveland in this draft class coming up.
It's nice to be in that. I mean, granted, I don't want to pick at 26. I'd rather pick teens, but I like being at 26 because that means, oh, we won.
Yeah. That's what I always tell my friends. It's like, look, if you're picking the top 10, it's because you had a rough year.
You're a loser.
Like 1 through 12, you
Yeah.
had a rough year. Now, when you're 13 through 19, that is a shitty situation because you're competitive, but you ain't that good either.
You're
So
competitive, but you ain't very good at being competitive.
it's like you're respectable. Now, when you get to 20 to 26, 27, it's like, all right, these guys are about another player away to make some noise. Now, when you're 28 through 32, it's like, hey, you're the top of the creep right now. Like, you're the top of the world right now. So, at this point, it's just a luxury pick at this point. You're just getting whoever fell to you at this point.
Depth.
So, do what you want at that point, But, yeah, it's always weird, like, when you have to explain to them, like, look, man, these are the layers of how the draft really works. 1 through 12, you got to do everything you can to get the best guy. When you're 13 to 19, you're good.
Let me ask you liked Andy Walker and picking him up for a free agent. What do you think about Moses out of Alabama?
I think, unfortunately, because the linebacker class is sort of, I want to say it's a dip after the first two guys. It's just one of those things where you're good. Other guys had better seasons and pro days, probably didn't work out the way you intended to. He might be a steal in the second.
Shit, I got him all the way down in the fourth.
You got him in the fourth. I know. It's going to be hard because it's like, look, man, how many teams really need linebackers? And if you're a team that needs a linebacker, then obviously you're going to take the best one that's there.
Right.
But is there a situation where I could see the same thing with Mac? Mac Wilson a couple years ago, he looked like a guaranteed second, third rounder. You guys got him in the fifth.
Yep.
Why? Because the need for a linebacker wasn't there for the other teams.
That's it.
So it's just, if you're a great linebacker coming out of college, you're going to get in the first. After that, it's like, hey, look, man, does the team really need you? And that's kind of a shitty thing to say.
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing with running backs, where it's like, if you're an Adrian Peterson, if you're a Saquon, if you're one of those dudes, you're going to get picked up early. There's no question.
It's funny you say that because I have running back in my draft.
It's just, but the thing is, it's like, if you don't need a running back, really, the only two teams I can see where could choose a running back, Pittsburgh, obviously, they need a running back.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, and I did the show yesterday, and I said, I have never in my life have heard Pittsburgh Steelers were last in rushing. Never in my wildest dreams would I ever think that Pittsburgh would be a terrible running team.
Yeah.
Like, never in my life. That was like, are you sure I'm reading this right? It says 32 here. Like, that was crazy to me. Pittsburgh, I could see running back. The other ones I could see running back, the Jets. That's about it.
I've got a running back in the fifth.
And that's what I think. It's like, but do you need a running back? No. So we can wait. We're good.
That's why I got him in the fifth.
Like, when you look around the NFL, it's like, well, he's not the best starter, but he's serviceable. He'll do.
I was looking at Herbert from Virginia Tech.
You see what I mean? It's like, could he fall to the fifth? Yeah. Why? Because it seems like every other team out there is like, well, I could wait.
And let's face it, Pittsburgh's not going to spend 5 picks on running backs.
No, if they're going to do it, I understand there are other needs out there, but you guys the Steelers need a running back. I mean, they need a running back because Connor's gone. I don't trust McFarland.
Nope.
Benny Snell's a nice change of pace back, but I don't know about him being the 3-down running back that everybody kind of wants him to be. It's just like, look, here are these 2 running backs, Travis Etienne, Najee Harris. Which one would you want? and they're going to cost the same. So who
Yeah.
do you want? Like, who do you want, my man?
Pull out this quarter, flip this coin.
I want him. There it is. Okay, go to Pittsburgh. You're the new
Yeah,
starting running back for Pittsburgh. But yeah, no, like I said, this draft's going to be amazing. It's going to be interesting to see what these guys do. Really, I mean, Miami kind of controls the board right now with all their picks. We don't know what they're thinking. To me, the draft really starts with San Francisco. It really starts with San Francisco because we know they're going to QB. You don't go 12-3 to take a safety. No, you don't do that. You don't do that.
I have to disagree because I think it starts with number 4 in Atlanta.
So it's already in your mind. You already know what San Francisco is going to go with.
Oh, yeah. San Francisco Atlanta's open to trading the 4th, and New York is open to trading, I think, out of the 8th, I think.
Well, I know the Giants own the 11th.
The 11th.
So, I mean, but do you really want to give up on the Daniel Jones experiment? Like,
yes.
Yeah, I know. I have to agree with you there. It's
as a Cleveland fan, no, keep him. He's fine. Yeah, keep him. Yeah. No. Daniel Jones.
It's got to be a change. Yeah, look, man, nice story.
Bye.
Nice story. It's just you're just not a New York type of dude. No. You're not. You're not, man. It's just if they gave Eli hell and
he got him 2 Super Bowls, they still gave him hell.
You know, and you're putting this out there? No wonder they want you gone. No. I mean, hell, it's hard. It's just hard being a quarterback for New York in general. It's hard being an athlete in New York because they're just so used to winning, and it's like
that's why I love the Carolina trade. I think Darnold has everything it takes to be great, just not in New York.
Yeah, no, and as I mentioned yesterday, they're going to go Zach Wilson number 2. That's dead on. That's enough of that.
Yeah,
it's just if the Jets do not want another repeat, try to build the line first for Zach Wilson. Yep. Because it's like I told my brother this when I made the Jets video for number 2. There's some cases where the quarterback they draft, it fails the organization. Mitchell Trubisky failed the organization. I believe the Jets failed Sam Darnold. They really did. They screwed the pooch on Sam Darnold.
Yep.
Like, that was it. I'm glad he's going to go to Carolina. I'm not going to say that Carolina's a better team than the Jets, but at least they're building something there. At least they're building something there with Matt Rule and everybody.
There's 2 things there in Carolina that say that they are better than the Jets. One
Christian
is
McCaffrey.
2 is Christian.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey is the entire Jets team.
Oh, yeah. That's not even a debate at this point.
Yeah. Are they going to be winners? They might hit 500, but I doubt it. But
I'll put it to you this way. The Carolina Panthers with Sam Darnold under center, they'll have a better year this year than they did last year.
I'll tell you what, they'll have a better year than the Jets.
It's going to be a minute before the Jets can pull something together. Like the Jets are one of those teams where like it was like the Browns. It's like, here we go again. It was the new quarterback. First it was Mark.
Yeah.
Then they got Geno. Then they pulled Sam. Now it's going to be Zach Wilson.
Speaking of which, this is supposed to be the Browns, but and I know you talked to Josh not too long ago. What are the Bears going to do at quarterback? They're going to stick with Andy Dalton, or are they going to drop?
He has all the confidence in the world that Andy Dalton is the guy.
Temporarily, I do as well.
I mean, granted, they do have Nick there.
Yeah.
But he has every confidence in the world that Andy Dalton is going to take the Bears to the playoffs. And I'm like,
I don't see
but
he did it in Cincinnati 6 years in a row.
I mean,
so he did it with one, he can do it with another. And he's got their weapons.
I'll put it to you like this. Other than Boomer Esiason, maybe Carson before the freak accident.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Dalton should be praised all over fucking Cincinnati.
He should be
Like,
a fan.
I don't care if he had AJ Green and all this shit. What he did for Cincinnati all those years, he should be fucking praised. Because it takes a very special individual to make Cincinnati competitive. Okay?
And he took as much heat as Manning did in New York.
You know, and it's like, look, man, other than Boomer and Carson Palmer pre-freak accident, he deserves all fucking praise for being the quarterback of that franchise, for at least having some relevancy in Cincinnati, for God's sakes.
And Palmer turned his career around too, so.
Well, that's after he left the fucking Raiders. I mean, but at that time the Raiders were going through a weird phase. Al just passed away. Nobody knew what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
Nobody knew who was going to take ownership. And then when he went to Arizona, it was like, hey, man, great turnaround. Sorry that it had to end like that for you. I'm so sorry.
So, all right.
Other than that, I mean, I can't wait. And you know, I will be texting you on draft day like, I told you so. I told you they were going to go corner.
There's so much that's coming out. Internal leaks.
Yeah.
If they pull a trade for Jackson, that secondary is set.
Oh, you're ready to go. That's enough of that.
Cleveland's in the Super Bowl.
Whew, they got to go through the Chiefs.
Right now, they were one play away from it last year. I'm good.
Oh, man.
Because
I know.
The Bay beat the Chiefs. They put Mahomes on his ass.
Yeah, other than the Tampa Bay game, the Super Bowl game, I think that was the most pressure I've seen Mahomes. Mm-hmm. Like, I think there was like a little bit of like, oh shit, I think I met my match. I think I rolled the lightning too long, and I think this is where the buck stops right here.
And now you have Clowney, Jackson,
Malik Jackson, Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
And if Sheldon comes back, then your front four, that's good to go.
Oh, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I'm not guaranteeing. Chiefs ain't gonna roll. Not through Cleveland, they ain't.
Yeah, no, it was kind of weird because you kind of saw the Chiefs kind of take like a wake-up call.
Mm-hmm.
It was sort of a wake-up call when their first loss came to the Raiders. That was kind of like a what the fuck happened?
I was definitely saying what the fuck.
Yeah, I even said what the fuck, and I'm a Raiders fan, and I said, what the fuck just happened? Like, what the fuck just happened? Then they kind of roll, okay, they look like themselves normally. Yeah. And then that Sunday night game against the Broncos, they said something to me that was kind of like, you know, we're just taking it, one game at a time. And I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all the Super Bowl champs.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all should be like more umped than this.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see Kelsey when he's doing the interview. It's like, that confidence that was there last year was not there this year. I don't know what the fuck happened. But then the Cleveland game happened, and I was like, oh, my God, I have never seen – like, that was the first time where it's like, people really, like, there was doubt. There was doubt.
Cleveland now has a swagger, and I do have to thank Baker Mayfield for that. They've got a swagger. They've got a punch-you-in-the-mouth attitude that they haven't had in 20 years. Offensively and defensively, they want to punch somebody in the mouth.
And the thing was, too, with Kansas City, when they played the Bills, obviously the Bills didn't have the same attitude on defense of, like, punching them. I mean, it wasn't going to happen. Now, when they played Tampa Bay, now, am I going to sit here and say, had Eric Fisher and Mitchell Schwartz played, that the game would have been differently? Maybe. But I still would have taken Tampa Bay. I still would have taken Tampa Bay at this point.
If you rewatch both games, Cleveland and Tampa Bay, Bruce Arians watched the game tape from the Cleveland game. There was some identical defensive plays when they were getting to.
There were some calls. There were some certain blitz packages where it was wide 9, all that stuff, and I'm like, dude, they're getting to him pretty fucking fast. And it's not like they're the fastest defensive line out there, but they're getting to him pretty fucking quick.
Arians watched the tape. He watched that Cleveland game and what they did to him.
Now, I will say this, though. Patrick Mahomes threw the most beautiful 2 incompletions I've ever seen in my fucking life. Like, those were beautiful. But unfortunately, they still count as incompletions. That's the problem. Beautiful throw. Beautiful throw. I mean,
I love the
it's
throw
just
around. I mean, that Brett Favre I've ever seen since Favre.
I mean, that was a beautiful throw. It's just unfortunate. It counts as an incompletion, my man. Like, unfortunately. But hey, that's gonna live forever. Okay. Like, that's forever.
I will say Cleveland is in the playoffs again. Minimum playoffs.
I would be as confident to say, and I know my friends, that are Ravens fans and that are Steeler fans is like, look, I'm sorry. It's just Cleveland has given us hope that, hey, you know what? It's the underdog's turn to take a chance to win the division, and let's see how far we can ride this wave.
We beat up on Pittsburgh. We, for the most part, beat up on KC. We put a.
You're putting valiant efforts against Baltimore. It's just a call this way and maybe a bounce this way. It would have gone in your favor. It would have gone in your favor. It's just not that night. Not that night. It didn't go in your favor. That Monday night matchup, great Monday night matchup.
Yep.
It just wasn't your night. That's just what it was. It was just Baltimore got the last lucky call, and that's pretty much the game.
And I think we've added the defensive pieces this year to overcome calls.
Like, I know my Raiders have to play the Browns this year. I was confident last year that, okay, I think we could beat the Browns in Cleveland. We got to go back to Cleveland with this new team. I'm not too certain about this year.
I'm going to be honest, Derek Carr has to win it because I don't know. I don't know if Josh is going to be that effective.
And especially if all players on the defensive side are healthy, and it's like, all right, we just got to lock in on Josh, because that was the only thing that stopped you guys from winning the game was Jacobs.
Yep.
Jacobs was pretty much the benefactor of the glory of the victory. It wasn't the defense, it wasn't the offense, because it was going to be a running game anyway.
Yep.
And so, because at that time the weather was horrendous.
Yes.
It was horrendous. So it was like, look, there wasn't going to be a lot of passing, and there wasn't going to be a lot of this. The field goal special teams unit was going to have a hell of a time.
Yep.
So really what it came down to, all right, running game. And at that day, Josh Jacobs was just the benefactor of the glory of that game. Now, depending on how the schedule comes out and how the weather's going to be, with all those defense, like, look, we know what we fucked up last year. Lock in on 28, and now let's see if number 4 can beat us.
That's it. That's what I think is going to have to happen this year is they need to lock down running backs, not just Jacobs, but any running backs, to include Jackson, even though he's not a running back. But
it's pretty weird. He's a mobile quarterback is what he is. You got to, man. It's just, I don't know. I just never thought in my life, like these quarterbacks would be so fucking athletic, because I'm still used to just the pocket QB.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, now that we see the mobility of these guys, the athleticism of these guys, it's like, and now they can run too? Fuck.
My biggest fear is that last year was a fluke. That's my fear.
Oh, that's everybody's fear, especially like a team like Cleveland that just got to the playoffs for the first time. Like, was it a one-time thing, or can it be a constant thing now?
Is
look,
Baker the new Bernie Kosar?
It's like, because you guys got Lamar Jackson. I got to deal with Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes twice a year. That is not fun.
Herbert is a beast.
Yeah, I know. I know he is.
And the thing is they went what 1-15 or something like that, 1-16, whatever. I mean, they lost there. I think they only won 1 or 2 games last year.
With him, I think they only won like 2 with him, and I think they were like 2-5 the rest of the year. But Justin Herbert showed enough promise to where it's like, hey, look, this dude can play. We just got to build it. We just got to build it around him now.
Didn't he win Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Yeah. You know why? Because he was a bad motherfucker.
He was badder than anyone thought he would be. So, yeah, you guys, that boy.
Yeah. Trust me. I got to deal with Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert for the next 15 fucking years. Great.
Yeah. Well, I don't think unless Mahomes tames down his running, he's not going to last 15.
I mean, it's still, even if you make him a pocket quarterback, do you really want to make him a pocket quarterback? No, not really.
Yes, I do.
It's just
because Mahomes is a young Brett Favre. He beat you with his legs and just not even running, but getting out of the pocket and finding open lanes for receivers. Same thing with Aaron Rodgers. Mahomes is Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre balled into one.
And I got to deal with that for a long time.
Keep him in the pocket. Collapse that pocket and keep him in that.
Yeah, it's just, and now for God forbid Denver finds a franchise quarterback, then it's like, fuck. Now it's what?
Yeah.
But it's John Elway we're talking about. So what does he know about drafting quarterbacks? So whatever.
Nothing. Nothing. He took Lock.
Nah, I got one better for you. He took a Paxton Lynch. Huh? Yeah, baby.
Wait, well, he also paid Brock Osweiler.
Yeah.
He had Brock Osweiler too. No, he had Osweiler and Houston paid him. Yeah, never mind. But yeah, he's the best thing they could have done, honestly, and you're going to hate this statement. You're going to laugh your ass off. They
Keep
should.
Tebow?
Huh? No.
Keep Tebow?
Nope. They should have gone after Trubisky.
Well, we don't know because
Hindsight
is 2020. But again, would he have been better at Denver?
No, I meant.
Well, I mean, like, because you never know. Like, because, I got an Eagle friend, I know people that go for the Eagles. It's like, we should have taken DK Metcalf. And it's like, well, how would you have known? Maybe if he would have been just as worse as JJ Ortega. We don't know. Because sometimes, look, man, sometimes some players just get caught up in the right moment, the right time, and the right place.
I think I'm in the minority, but I like Trubisky. I think in the right he can thrive. Like Denver receivers with that line, I think Trubisky could succeed in Denver.
It's just I didn't see it coming out of. I was just like, what did he do? Like, I get it. He's okay. I don't know if he was worthy of pick number 2.
No, he wasn't.
I mean,
I would have said
maybe Watson at that time because he just got off winning a national championship.
Watson. Oh, that's a bad word now.
Yeah, that is a bad word, especially what he's going through. But at the time of the draft, it was like, look, was Watson worthy of pick number 2? Coming up the national championship game, it would have sounded a lot better than Mitchell Trubisky because at least Watson had some hardware to come with that number 2 pick. So at least there would have been a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
And also,
I think the Watson thing is way out of proportion.
I don't know what's up with that. I mean,
I'll go on record and saying I think there's just a lot of
hoopla.
The attorney going out.
It is a serious.
Let me explain. Okay. I got in trouble at my job. Now, understand, there is the general rule from the post commander, masks in every building. I got accused of commenting on a female smile continuously, but she's wearing a mask.
Ouch. Yeah.
I think there's
it's the things that make you say,
I think there's 22 cases.
Like, because look, it is a serious thing. It is a serious offense. Now,
I think at least 1 or maybe, but 22, come on.
Now, this is the thing that kills me. It's like, look, I think the judge did it right. I think he's doing it like, look, you can accuse this man all you want, but I need all 22 to come out with their names. Now, when 3 drop their name, it's like, you know what? I don't want to pursue this farther. I'm like,
There you go.
Wait a minute. Because now, let's say, in the future, a ruling does come out and he's found not guilty of any of these 22 charges, right? You're just killing it for the rest of the people that actually have suffered through it?
Yes.
And it's like, and then people wonder why they don't take this shit seriously. Because of people like this.
That are trying
exactly. Now, if he does get accused of all 22, then hey, man, you know what you did. You did what you had. Like, you did what you did.
Your career's done.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Big time.
Right now, his career pretty much is done, right?
I'm not going to say it's over. I'm not going to say that it's over yet. Now, however,
done for at least this season. I don't think he can play.
Not in these situations. Unless the ruling came back and they found nothing, or they dropped the cases in general. Then it's like, all right, well, and then, like, again, going back to it, should they drop the cases or should they just say we don't want to pursue anymore? Then it's like because you're pretty much trying to ruin this man,
right?
Because now that's with him for the rest of his life. Like, whether he's found not guilty or not, whether he's guilty or not, that's with him for the rest of his life.
Now the thing is, he doesn't want to play in Houston. He wants to trade. Well, Houston's going to drop him for a 3rd round pick at this point, just because he's done. Who's willing?
And I just find it kind of fishy that when he started putting his displeasure out there, it's like it's like, I'm not, again, a serious offense, but why wasn't this brought up before?
Well, look at all the charges in Washington against
you see what I mean?
Redskins. It's 20 years for them to come out.
It's just, it is a touchy subject, and it's a serious subject. It's just,
and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that he didn't do anything. I'm not saying these women weren't assaulted.
We're not saying any of that. All we're saying is, it's just the timing of it. It's never the right timing, obviously. It's just
the timing.
Now? Like, now? We're going to do this now? Okay, let's do this now.
Timing is suspect.
Yeah, it's like, why didn't you come out while he was still playing and he was happy? What happened? And it's just both sides look terrible as fuck. Yeah. I'm going to put it to you like this. If I was the judge, I'm looking at both sides. I'm like, both of you look miserable as fuck right now. Like, there's no way to put it other than both of you just are fucking up at this point.
Yep. I agree.
You are a terrible human being. I don't know what the fuck are you guys thinking about having 22 all at the same fucking time. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, come on. Like,
no, I agree.
It's just terrible timing on both ends, basically. And the franchise, like, a lot of people, they're just focusing on Watson and then the women. They're not even focusing on, like, the franchise has to know something's up, right? Oh, I don't want to play anymore. I don't trust the general manager because we had a bad interview at the combine.
Right.
And I don't trust. And now it's like, oh, you want to bring that up? Watch me do. It's like, wait a minute. Ever since this guy came in, fishy shit has been going down in Houston.
Right.
So, again, there's a lot of elements to this where I'm just like, this is not going to end good for nobody.
No.
Nobody's winning this at all.
So, yeah, I'm concentrating on my house.
Exactly.
Browns. You concentrate on them Raiders.
Whew. Only 6 more years until Chucky's gone. Yeah. Yeah, Chuck.
Like, I like Chucky, though.
Yeah. Everybody in the NFL loves Chucky. Everybody.
Raiders. Hey,
but no,
he does have a ring. He's got a ring.
It was Tony Dungy's team, but whatever, man. Whatever.
But
man.
He's got the ring.
He's got the ring, yeah, and Tony Dungy did it. I get it.
Let's put it another way, though. He got a ring with Brad Johnson.
That's pretty hard to do. That's pretty hard.
That's just like, who got the ring with Dilfer and the Ravens? Dilfer
has a super. Yeah, that's pretty hard. And Brian Billick deserves a lot of credit for winning a Super Bowl with.
Billick.
Okay.
And I'm Baker Mayfield. You're with Derek Carr. One of us have a freaking ring. Brad Johnson has a ring. Trent Dilfer has a ring.
Ta-da! Maybe we don't need a franchise QB then. Maybe we just gotta get a good enough team. maybe every franchise is doing this backwards. I don't know.
But
I don't know.
Just let me get Alex retirement. We'll go from there.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. It's all in the wash now. Perfect.
But
no, like I said, good luck to you in the draft. Obviously, I will be texting you. It's going to be exciting. I cannot wait. And I thank you for joining me talking about the Browns today. It's always good. It's always good to get a different outsider's opinion.
I'm going to send you that text. Oh, Gilmore to Cleveland.
And it's like, oh, here it is. Oh, and I'm sure if that were to happen, I'm sure I would get not just one message, not two. Gilmore. And I'll be like, yeah, this dude knows. This guy got a hunch, and that's what it was.
I doubt it. I mean, there's a lot of rumblings, but I doubt it. But you take care.
Of course.
By all means, keep in contact. It's been a long time.
Of course, Bill. You got it, my man. Like I said, have fun at the draft. I will talk to you next week, and then obviously way before that, obviously.
Hey, when are you going to air this?
Oh, I'm airing this right now. This is live, man.
Oh, you some bitch.
Come on, man. This is TV time. Shit.
Hell with it.
This is live, baby. You were live the whole time.
Handle on there.
My handle is JRod Sports and Discussions.
All right.
I will gladly send you the link. I will gladly send you everything.
Oh, I'm going to go to the damn page, and I'm going to subscribe right now.
There you go, my man. There you go.
JRod Sports and Fitness.
Yeah.
But on here, I'm going to go ahead and subscribe and like and all of that and get you some more views, all right?
Yeah, I like that. All right, Bill. Take care, my man, all right? You take care of yourself.
Miss you, brother.
Miss you, my man. Take care.
Stop knocking your head on shit.
No promises? Okay, I promise. Take care, my man.
Later, brother.